Welcome. The purpose of this video is to walk you through the steps to set up your views in model space so that you can eventually draw your four elevations: your front elevation, your rear elevation, your right elevation, as well as your left elevation. So here we have on the screen, we have what we would use for our front elevation. The front elevation is going to show your front door. Therefore, because this is the front door of this structure, the front elevation would show the front face of the structure. Rear elevation would show the rear view of the structure. Right elevation would show the right side of the structure, and left elevation would show the left side of the structure. So if we jump right on into it and we're going to set up our front elevation view in model space, this is the process. So we're going to go V for view. And when we go V for view, we're going to select model views as our selection because we are in model space. We are then going to go to new. And we're going to give it the name front elevation. I recommend that you give it the name that it corresponds with, meaning don't give it just a random name like 1, 2, 3, 4. Give it what it is so you know where to find it quickly. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And when you create that, it shows you in the model views the front elevation. You will see a preview window in this box here. Now, something we've not talked about is what we call the layer snapshot. By default, the layer snapshot is on, meaning that it will remember the layers that are on and remember the layers that are off in this particular view. If you want CAD to remember the layers that are on and off, make sure that this is selected yes. If you want to change that to no, you can always do no. When it says layer snapshot no, that means that if you load one of these views, whatever layers were on and whatever layers were off prior to you selecting this specific view, they will stay the way they were. If this is selected as yes, and you select this specific view, it will turn off and turn on the layers that are just shown in this preview. Okay, so I'm going to hit no for this example. I'm going to hit apply, and I'm going to hit OK. So that sets up our front elevation view. Now what I want to do is I want to set up the last three. So if I do the command UCS, that will allow me to physically select a face by O-snapping to one corner, and that gives me control over the UCS orientation. Then I'm going to O-snap to the other corner. Okay. Then you will see the cursor show the X and Y coordinate. We always want the Y to the left of X. We never want it to the right of X. We always want the Y to the left of X or above X. What this means is that when we select this specific orientation, we know that the X coordinate goes to the right and the Y coordinate goes up. This is how this object will rotate. So it says specify point on the XY plane or accept, meaning that I need to just hold my cursor so that the orientation of that X and Y is shown correctly, and then I just hit the enter key to select. So if it holds it correctly, this is how it should appear. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is type plan. Plan allows you to rotate the view based on the current UCS. So I hit enter to accept, and here I can either click current UCS or I can hit enter to accept, and the view will rotate. So now I want to get this somewhat in view, centered on the screen, so that we can draw our right elevation. I'm then going to go to View. Because I have this orientation set up for the right elevation, I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to give it the name Right Elevation. I'm going to hit OK. And again, I'm going to change my layer snapshot to No. Again, what that means is that if there were layers on that we need, for example, the elevations, they will not go off if this is set to No. So I'm going to hit Apply and OK. Then I'm going to set up the rear elevation. UCS. I'm going to O-snap to the left corner, always the left corner first, and orientate towards the right corner. I'm going to then hold the cursor so that the Y would be to the left of the X, and when it rotates, the Y would be above the X. And then I'm going to hit Enter to accept. Okay. Then I'm going to type Plan, and then I'm going to select Current UCS. So now it rotates to the rear. I'm going to type View. I'm going to go to New. Rear Elevation. I hit OK. Layer Snapshot, No, and OK. Lastly, I want to have this left view orientation for my left elevation. UCS. O-snap to the lower left corner. O-snap to the upper right corner. Hold the cursor in the correct direction and hit Enter. Type Plan. Current. It then rotates the view once last time. Then I go to View. I go to New, and I say Left Elevation. I hit OK. So you'll see that now if I select each one, you will see how it would rotate based on the one selected. Now on the last one I did the left elevation. I want to check that to No and hit Apply and OK. So now if I wanted to, for example, draw my elevations, and I wanted to draw them on the front face first, if I load my layer A elevation, okay, and I want to physically draw the elevation of the front, I would then go back to View, double click Front Elevation, Set Current, Apply, and OK. Choose my A elevation as the correct layer. Then I would drop my construction lines down, and then you would follow the next video. Okay, so we would do our construction line horizontal. Let's say we had an 8-foot ceiling. Offset that down. Trim off what I don't need. Trim off what I don't need. Trim off what I don't need. And trim off what I don't need. So then if I had to go then I would put in my doors and windows and then move on to the next elevation. So then I would go to V for View if I needed to do the right elevation then. Double click Right Elevation, Set Current, Apply, and OK. And you see that the elevation layer is currently on, even though it was not on when we created these views. The reason for that again is because when we set up the rear or the right elevation, we turned the layer snapshot off by hitting No, and so that means any layer that was on previously will stay on until I turn it off. So this concludes the recording for your view setup. Happy drafting.